I hope this week has been very informative for you, and our previous videos have inspired you to give Pi VDC a shot or just try automation in general. Today, we're going to go over Pi Navisworks, which, in my opinion, is one of the most important packages offered in the Pi VDC product line. One of the biggest promises of following a BIM workflow and a VDC workflow is avoiding clashes on the site. And Pi Navisworks plays an important tool. It's an important tool to bring certainty to your construction workflows. My name is Naman Patwari, and I'm the head of automation at Pinnacle Solution Development Department. And I'm joined today along with Akshay, who is our Pi champion. As we have described before, Pi champions play a very important role at Pinnacle by making sure that our tools, our Pi VDC tools, are properly taught, are properly our Pinnacle employees are properly trained on them, and obviously, Akshat also has a rich background in BIM modeling and following the VDC workflow. And then along with me is Nishant, who is a subject matter expert for coordination processes at Pinnacle. He's been using Pi Navisworks for a while, and he agreed to join us on this call today to kind of share some case studies with us on how Pi Navisworks has helped him in his projects. Um, with that, I want to pass it off to Akshat. Akshay, all you.
Thanks, Naman. Hello, everyone. I Akshay Soni. Welcome you all for webinar. Here we are going to discuss how Navisworks add-ins are useful to complete the task. We are going to cover a range of add-ins that can streamline your workflow, automate your task, and introduce advanced features that extend beyond the default like Navis. We are going to cover a range of add-ins that can streamline like all kind of work. So by the end of this webinar, you will have a clear understanding and idea of the benefit of using the tools. We will begin with an exploration of the benefit followed by a showcase of practical explanation of these tools that will enhance your efficiency and workflow in Navisworks. When we talk about their benefit, we have a lot to talk about. So we can have some points here. So point one is quality. As we know, quality means performance upon the expectations. PiVDC, PiVDC tools provide the best quality output. There are many quality checking tools for the performance. Along with this, these tools are time saving, and tools are error free. When we talk about the productivity, when the time is less and quality is good in the in that case, like productivity productivity will increase for sure. Okay, so now I'll talk about the Navis. So there are some areas in Navis where these tools are used to get the good quality work in less time. So first is lash coordination, second is 4D simulation, and third is import and export the schedule in seconds in Revit. Okay, so we can go on the tools one by one. So we will start with the clash optimizer. So this is our tool. This tool helps to optimize the clashes, number of clashes by grouping the same clash. And we can have an idea. As we can see here, in Pi Navisworks, we have this clash optimizer. As we can see in the clash detection, we have approximately 1,000 clashes. So if I have to check and go to the all clashes, then I have to click every clashes one by one. And there are a lot clashes which are same with different view. So for that, we have our tool clash optimizer. We just have to optimize the clash, and we will see the magic here. It
So,
will take
Akshay,
approx 10 years. Yes, Naman.
while we're waiting on this, um, can you talk a little bit about what we're grouping the clashes on?
Okay, yeah, just give me 1 second. So as we can see here, we got 251 clashes. Like we had approx 1000 clashes, but now we have only 251 clashes. So we like I'll click on this. So like, this is the group of the clash, and when I click on this, I can see these are the views, like different angled view of a clash. So it'll group all the clashes here. So now I just have to check only one clash. I have to like click only this, and I have to focus only on this clash, and like that's how I will remove these 5 clashes. Along with this, we can ignore the approved clash and reviewed clash here. Like when we click on this, we can ignore these type of like clashes. And when we optimize, then we can like ignore those also. And we can set the tolerance here, and like tolerance is all about the range of the group, like what range we are like talking about here. Okay, so now I just have to click on the groups
Um,
like this.
Akshay, could you elaborate on that a bit more, please?
Yeah, okay. So as we can see here, when I the range and I ungroup the clash. So as we are aware, like we have like 1000 clash here. When I optimize the clash with this range,
So, Nishant, I'm curious
now
why when you use these plugins. Sorry, actually, just real quick, Nishant, when you use these plugins, do you often find yourself playing around with the tolerance slider a lot, or like, do you have like a fixed bar that you kind of set the tolerance level to for all your projects?
It depends upon the number of clashes we have. Like if it goes around 1000 to 2000, it depends upon the tolerance that we are set. So if we create the tolerance higher, then we'll definitely have lower clashes. So it depends upon the number of clashes we are having in the model. So that's how we play
But
with the tolerance. Yeah.
for the
so
same, go ahead. Sorry,
yeah,
go
so
ahead.
as we can see here, like if we have approx like 43 clashes, and like earlier we have approx two
251.
like 50 clashes. Yeah, so here we can see like it grouped the clashes of a specific area. Now it like we can see like multiple area is added in a single group. Now like earlier we have a group for like this. Now we have a group for this area, or like this like these clashes. Earlier we had only this, and now this and this area. So now we have to focus only on this area, and by one time we can remove the clashes once. So like that's how this tool works.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nishant, just a quick follow-up question. Like, let's say you are at the stage of the project where you're doing your coordination. Do you see
Mhm.
yourself for that same stage running the Clash Optimizer tool multiple times to just figure out the right tolerance level?
Uh, well, it depends upon the area of the project too. So as Akshay said that it as we set a tolerance to a higher end, so the the larger groups are being created, so it covers a lot of areas. So it depends upon the area to area. So if we are having a smaller area, we generally don't play with that tolerance too much high. We generally set a tolerance to a minimal level, and whenever we are playing to a bigger area, we to coordinate faster and faster, so we'll just set to an higher. So that's how we generally work with the tolerance over here.
Got it. And do you ever get any issues with false positives where like the grouping has been too uh, too loose and two different completely clashed groups have been combined into one?
No, that's a good fact over here with the PiVDC tools, that it hasn't been I haven't faced any issues with this tool so far. So that's a really nice positive thing that has gone so far.
That's great to hear. Makes sense. So,
Yeah.
Nishant, out of curiosity, how do you communicate with clients about, let's say, you find out there are 10 clashes on a particular project? How do you
Mhm.
currently communicate with the clients that, hey, we need your input, or hey, these are 10 clashes we're working on?
I don't face a problem in such cases that generally I just show my Navis open and I'll just show them the clashes, how we have grouped the clashes, and for a review, for instance, we are showing the clashes to the client. So in the groups, we generally let the client know that we have grouped all those clashes with the help of the PiVDC tools, and they really appreciate on this in the efforts, because they see that our productivity has gone at the higher end, and they are getting the inputs and the results so come very fast and fast with using our PiVDC and this Pi Navisworks tool. So yeah, that's how we generally pre-present our tools to client and how we work on Pi Navisworks and Navisworks over here.
It makes sense, right? And I'm assuming the client is also gets happy that they
Yeah.
only have to review 250 clashes over a
Yes, yes.
thousand
Yeah.
clashes,
Yeah, it
right?
has happened with me once in a while that we were having a meeting over here, and we have a lot of structural clashes with the pipes and all, and so we generally needed to show or around, it was around 2500 or 2000, it was around that clashes, and we used that Pi Navisworks second time, and I was so client was so shocked to see that it has reduced to such an extent, and he was so happy to see that it has reduced such, and how this has happened and how we can sort all these clashes, and clashes has been reduced to 250 around, just a number zero down. That's what the
Right,
Pi Navis work is doing over here. So he
right.
really appreciated on that one. Yeah.
Makes sense, right? Because we're talking a multiple of 10 or 20 being reduced,
Yeah.
right? And for big
Yeah.
projects, that becomes a huge, huge issue because Pinnacle
Huge
is really
difference.
big on clash coordination meetings because there are hardly I don't know of any other company who has like all the different trades under a single roof. So Pinnacle does execute on a lot of clash coordination meetings. So we hope Navisworks again. Again, this entire plugin was an internally generated idea, so I'm really glad to see that it's being used. Akshay, over to you, please.
Yes, like by using this tool, like we can save approx like 50% of time because it will like if there were approx like 1000 clashes, then if we will if we will like fix the tolerance at a range, then it will make the clashes up to like 500. So it will save 50% of time by this, and we have to focus only the main clashes, not the all clashes. And by this, we can like resolve all the clashes like in less time, as we can see in the graphs here. Now I'll like move forward to the next tool, which is create schedule. So this tool like helps to create the schedule in like 30 seconds or like 40 seconds max. So like we will have an idea through the Navis. So when we like go to create schedule, but I would like to go manually first. Okay. So
Hmm.
if like no one has any tool, then they have to go by this method. Like they have to add the properties here like one by one. Like for example, item, and like I have to add the name. Then I'll go here, I'll click on the element, then I'll pick like area or like whatever like property I want to add here. So for example, I'm gonna pick like length or like level. Then I have to add property like this one by one, one by one. And then I'll click on OK. Then I have this property, then I'll go to like every element. But when we use our tool in this, like in that scenario, we just have to pick like element category. For example, I want to create the schedule of structural framing. Now I have to just click here for the properties. For example, if I'm just like picking the family and type IDs, and like I'm taking type volume, and I have to click only on show. Like I can add more more like 5, 10 properties here. Then I have to like
Hmm.
click on show. then we can get the Excel in the preview. So like we will have idea like how our Excel will look like, and it will take max to max like 10 to 15 seconds maximum, and then you'll get the Excel here
But
like
and
in
out
no
of
time.
curiosity, how big of this how big of a file is this, Akshay?
Uh, like I have to check the data, but like as you can see here,
Right,
yeah. So
like
as you can see
this
here,
model looks, this model looks like it's very, is it MEP heavy or structural heavy? I'm unable to
both
make it out from
mix,
the lines from the top.
like
Mixed,
both,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
mix, yeah. So we can see here like we have like this much of data. Now we can give the export to the spreadsheet. For that, like we have to just select the folder, and like we are Excel is ready. Yes. Now we can see here like we have
so
all the data here. Yes, sir.
so
Yes, Naman.
Nish, Nishant, what are like when do you use this in your day-to-day work? Like, because you can export schedules, exporting schedule from Navisworks is helpful. You're on mute, by the way.
Why it generally doesn't happen with me that.
You're
Yeah, so
good.
yeah. So generally, Revit exporting Revit schedules is a lot different thing with the Naviswork, because the interface we have got over here is quite handy over here. But when we are using the Pi Naviswork as an tool for exporting these schedules and all, so that's helped the interface that we have got now, Naman, that the interface, it's so easy, it's so handy to pick up all those elements and all. So generally, that's why we generally use the Naviswork as a exporting as a schedule over here, and that's why it it finds me very easy to export schedule through Naviswork. Yeah.
Got it. And what stage of the project do you see yourself generally exporting schedules through Navisworks? Like pre-coordination towards project closeout? Like when is it that project stage this
It
is
depends.
useful? Yeah.
Generally, it's depend upon the client requirements over here, but generally, like how they want a Kobe data on this one and all. So we generally export at that time. So yeah,
Got it. Makes sense. Makes sense. So basically, anytime on the project, right? Like there's not
yeah,
really a particular time that this is useful, but yeah, definitely. Like even though you can schedule, export schedules in Revit and stuff, but if you think about our typical client, they generally don't open Revit, right? Like they
yeah,
expect Pinnacle to do all the work in Revit, whereas they are like coordinating and reviewing in Navisworks. So having these plugins available where even the client can export a schedule based on our
mm-hmm,
work on Revit just makes
yeah,
makes collaboration between Pinnacle and our clients much easier. And that is what PiVDC is all about, like increasing collaboration between teams of people working together. Are there anything to add here? Because I remember, I know that you have a very rich history in BIM modeling and engineering as well. So, any anecdotes you'd like to throw here?
Yes, like earlier, like sometimes what happens, like client just give the file, like Navis file they provide, and they like wanted to like give the export. So through the by like selection inspector, we have to go to the like every property, then like we have to pick, then like we have to add. If it's about only one or two properties, in that case it's okay. But if we have to add like 10 properties, 12 properties, in that case it is very hectic through the Navis. So like when I started using this tool, then I have to just like do 4 or 5 clicks the getting the like, data in the Excel. So I believe it's far better, and like we have to just do 5 or 6 clicks max to max, and like you will have the data with you. So I think in
Makes sense.
like it's fantastic. And as we can see, like through the graphs, it will save approximately 80% of your time if we are like talking about the 10 or like 12 properties. So I believe if you are saving 80% your time, then I believe you are saving like 80% of money. Yeah, so like this tool
100%,
is,
right?
yeah, so like this tool is very important, I believe.
Right.
And
And then
now, yeah,
as the project size increases, that 80% becomes a huge chunk, right? Like that
Yeah.
80% could translate to 100 hours
exactly. Yes.
as well,
Yeah, sure.
right? Like
M-
especially for
More
the
than that,
scale of projects. Yeah,
more than that. Yeah, like
right,
if we have like more clashes and like if we have more elements in the file and like if we have to create the schedule there of like n number of elements, then it will save your time definitely for sure because you don't have
right,
to go to like every property. You
right.
just have to
Especially
click.
for complex
Yeah,
MEP workflows that can get
yes, sir.
really tricky,
Yes,
right? Like especially when you have multiple trades coming in, lot of linked files coming in, being
Yeah.
merged. Um, yeah.
yes, sir. So now like we will
So
move to the next
it
tool
says
or
just last question here.
yeah, sure,
So
go ahead.
while we're on the topic of linked tools versus central model, so Nishant, like how do you generally see your workflow happen? Like when you're working with your clients, do you run coordination towards the end, or like is everyone just working on a central model from day one, or does everyone come together towards the end and merge their files and then do clash coordination?
Generally, if we have got a central model, it depends upon how they have been giving us the files. Like, depends upon if, for say, generally the model are we have a single model where we have federated model where we have all the MP service in a one, and generally there are also different types of model where we projects where we have like a different type of electrical file, mechanical files we have got, and through which we generally export their Navis export, and we through them we run a clash coordination. But either it's same if we have a single Revit file or a Navis file, sorry, that models we have got of different exports, we can do everything through a Navis work. We can run a clash coordination with both of those. It's not that we have got
Makes
a different link files. Yeah,
Makes sense, right? And that is the beauty of Navisworks at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it helps
Perfect.
a lot in sorting out all the clashes and all. So it's very fantastic working with the Navis work.
Right. And it's simple to open, right? Like Revit takes so
Yeah,
much longer and files are heavy and stuff. But Revit has its place, Navis has its place at the
this
end of the
space.
day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like like I must say your output is just 4 or 5 click away. That's it. Like 4 or 5 clicks max to max. And like you will get all the outputs. If it's about
Right.
like schedules or like clash coordination and all. Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
let's move on.
yeah. Next move to the next tool, which is create selection set. So like this tool will help when we have to create the set in the Navis. Then like this tool will help a lot because this tool is like very quick to use and it will allow you to type like parameter and tab name like here, and even you can pick or choose. And we will go to the Navis first, and like we will have our so when I go to like create selection set, so I just have to like I can write here, or like it's even better like if I want to like create the schedule of the structural framing. In that case I'll just go to the like properties here and I'll go to the element and I'll go to the category. Now I just want to create the set of like structural framing. Okay, so I like we can see here like we have the name here of the element. It is like an angled beam, and for this we have like bar joint. So if we want to like segregate the element through the name or like of like any property, then we can use this tool. So for this we just have to click on the tool, create selection set, and like we have to pick like I'm picking like element, and then I'm gonna take name, and I just have to click on this. With only with 2 clicks in 1 second I got the set. Now I can see here. Now I have the sets according to the name. Bar joist, bar joist, this one, this HVAC beams are these. And if I want to like add, let's create like selection set, so we can choose like any property here, like name, type, layer, source file. So like that's how we can create the sets. And like we can like go through the set, and like we don't have to go and like check where the beam. I'll just click on the angle beam and I know these are the angle beam in the file. I don't have to go and check, okay, this is the angle beam, this is the angle beam. Okay, I have one angle beam here. No, I'll just click on this and I know here are the angle beam. Where's HVAC beam? So like here's the HVAC beam. So
Right.
that's
And this
how
can
like,
really help. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like it, like you don't have to like go here and there. You just have the
Yeah,
sets. You have to click and like you'll have the idea and the like location and just go there. Bar
Mm-hmm.
joist. I'll go here because I have to work here. Like I have
Mm-hmm.
to see the clashes of this. So I'll just click on this. I'll go here. I'll remove the clash. I have like clash optimizer. I know what is the group of the clashes. I'll just go there. I'll remove the clash and I'll save my time and like I'll save the money simply.
That makes
Like
sense.
that's how like this tool will work. Yeah.
Makes
So
sense. And
yes.
Nishant, you were saying something?
yeah. Actually, there has been an experience I would like to share with you guys that,
Please.
I was working on with a client and we were having a clash coordination meeting, and at that time I wasn't able to get those a pipe that I've selected, and actually I wanted to share that major pipe clashes that we were having in the model. So it was about the fire protection and all. So we had a federated model, so it was not possible to at that time to create me that sets code and the find items and all that
Mm-hmm.
long process. So what I did, I just created a selection set. So I had in the properties panel I had item, some kind of name that through which I could have selected that, and through this selection set in just one click it was just highlighted over that floor plan, and so it really saved that time in front of my client. So he was just like, how did that happen?
Right. Right. First of all, like
So
that was great thinking on your feet, Nishant, right? Like
yeah,
in such situations, like the light work nature of Navisworks and everything really comes handy, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um and again, like selection set was like this plugin was recommended by one of your peers, right? That's why
yeah,
this plugin even exists in the first place.
yeah,
So I'm very glad that you were able to use it, and really great job thinking on your feet, and
yeah,
trying to use selection
yeah,
sets.
no, yeah. But
Like
Great.
thanks to, yeah, that's all thanks to that the team that have been working on this tool, because they have created this interface so easy to just to, because Naviswork is also one thing. There's whole big team working on Naviswork, who has created this Naviswork. But our Pinnacle team has make it much easier. This tool, this create selection set.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the team at Pinnacle, we're sitting on the shoulder of the giants, right? Like Navisworks is an amazing tool, and like Autodesk has been, people have their qualms about Navisworks, but at the end of the day, it's a really handy tool. And hats off to the Autodesk team for actually working on it. Now,
Yeah,
you know we just can't expect them to do everything, right? Like, so at
yeah,
some point
definitely.
we have to take some things in our hands, right? And which is fine, but most of Navisworks is really really awesome in my opinion.
Yeah.
yeah, like
It,
earlier,
but
like we have, yes, Nishan.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just was hoping that that it's an add-on to our the work we are doing on. That's it's an add-on facility that we are getting on from the Pinnacle. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, 100%. Yep.
Like because
Yes,
earlier, like
Akshay.
we have, yes, yes, Naman.
No, go ahead, please.
Yeah, like earlier, like we have to click or like check, and then we will go here, then we will write any name,
Manually.
and then we will create the set. But now we we have to just click twice, and like in 2 seconds you will have all the sets. Like a lot time, like you like it depends on the count of sets, and like you can save that much of time. You
Yeah,
can't say like
definitely.
Makes sense.
you'll save like 1 hour or 2 hour. Like it depends on the work type, and like amount of work, and like you'll save a lot time here, like
Right.
through this tool.
Right. Yeah, and I do agree. It's really hard to quantify how much time
Exactly.
tools like these are
Yes,
saving,
yes,
but you know in your gut that if it didn't exist, how much it would take.
yes.
So, like our
So,
data
Mm,
science
no,
team
but
is working in the good.
yeah, but like still, if we like calculate like through the data, then like I have this graph here. Like if I have to create of like 50 selection set, then you will definitely save 80% of of your time, because it will make it on like I like not like 5 minutes, like but it will like create the set in the last time. So it
Right.
like more than 80% here.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
how you like save your 20 minutes of a task. So I
Right.
believe like it's wonderful, and like by these tools you can save a lot time, and and like what I believe, like it is not hectic. Like it's very easy, it's very handy. You just have to like do some clicks. So I believe like it will save money first of all, like it's the main factor I believe, because it will save your like work time, and it will increase your productivity, because
productivity.
there's no error in it. Because there's no error, like it is exact data, and you like don't have to check like to the name
Makes
of
sense.
property. You can like save the name, and like you have all the data here. So I think we should move forward to our next tool, which is like very useful, like whenever you have like which is a location extractor, and like whenever you are working in Navis and you have to check the exact location of the folder, then this tool is like very useful. And like let me show you how like this tool works. As we can like right now in this model I have only one nwd file, but if we are like working in multiple file and we have like multiple nwc files, then by clicking on the location we will find the location by just clicking on it. When you like when you click on this, you like get the location here. Simple. And if you're like multiple files here, then you don't go to like every folder. You don't have to check every folder and like every location. You just have to go to the tool and ask him, please tell me like what's your location, and like you have to double click on it, and like that tool will tell us like I'm here. Yeah, so like
Right.
that's how like this tool works.
And generally that folder location can have a lot of supporting documents, right? Like schedule
Exactly. Yes.
exports and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And automation, big or
Like
small, the
right
point
now
is
I
to
have only
save
like
time.
one nwd file, like that's why we don't have like multiple file. But if they are like multiple nwc file, then approx like 8 to 10 files will be there. Then we have to just click on that, that's it, and the location will be on your screen.
Right. And
Yes,
and can Autodesk add this natively to Navisworks? Yes. But I feel like they have, you know, other things to work on, right? Which is understandable, and
yes,
that is where Pinnacle and PiVDC comes in, where these small but really vital and time saving things can be added by us, right? And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Nishant, you would have something to say about this plugin as well.
So it happened like we were working as a team on a big project. So we have a multiple exports. So everyone has an export of different areas. So what happened is we wanted to locate one of our export, and we didn't we didn't know where that export was. So that's when that location extractor came too handy that we just tapped on it and we just tapped on that export and we got that export because we wanted to shift all those exports to a main local major file our folder location. So that's what we found.
Right, right. Makes sense, right? And like, at Pinnacle, we have that standard folder structure that we follow, and it's really important that after our work, all of our files comes there so that it can be shared effectively with our clients according to our ISO processes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So like
Perfect.
that's how like we had the idea like Pi Navis tool like can save approximately like 60 to 70% time. Like when you are using the Pi VDC tools, it will definitely save you like 70% of time with 100% accuracy. Like there's no error. Like what we can
100%.
ask
Yeah.
for, like that's the max we can ask from like any software, I believe.
Yes.
So
And
I'm working.
mhm,
Yeah, sorry, I'm interrupting, but as I'm working on this production flow, I really am grateful to that PiVDC tools that we have got over here because I know that time saves a lot of things. That the deadly submissions when we got those major submissions that we get that we have to do in this particular time, where these tools are coming handy to us. That's really
And like
great.
you don't have to do the repetitive task again and again.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so like that's also the a point.
And then Nishant, you can like and like not just but everyone can focus on the hard part of the job, right? Like actually
Exactly.
resolving the clash rather than, hey, let me find the clash and communicate the clash with my stakeholders. Or that part needs to be simplified. Like Nishant, I would want people like Nishant to spend time in creatively coming up with a clash resolution rather than clicking buttons just to move data from one
Yeah.
position to the other.
Yes, like
I
now
really
like we are,
appreciate that.
yes, like now we are focused on resolving the clashes, not finding the clashes.
Yeah.
100%.
That's the
Yes,
point.
Right.
yes.
Right.
Yeah. I agree on that.
Perfect. Perfect. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, concerns from either one of you, Nishant or Akshay, about
No,
PyDAVs?
just
Any closing thoughts?
no, just a really great appreciation to the guys and and the team that have been giving us this grateful tool that has helped a lot on our production floors. So that saves our lot of time. So thanks, guys. That's
Yeah,
all.
and I would really like to, if we can create all the tools, like the R&D team can create all the tools, but if not for our Pi champions like Akshay, it would be very hard for us to let other people know that, hey, this tool exists and use it. So first of all, Nishant, thank you so much for giving Pi VDC a chance. And then thank you, Ishant, Akshay, for like actually going around and teaching everyone on at Pinnacle how to use these tools and optimize their workflows.
And
Yeah,
yes, like
thanks, Akshat.
Naman, like this is the starting, like we have a lot like
100%.
in our
And
bags. Yes, yes,
even today, like we could only cover like 4 Navisworks plugins. We have
yes,
a bunch of them with a lot more in the pipeline. Like
yes.
especially right now, we're working on just having Navisworks really talk with a lot of our custom APIs for reporting purposes that can then directly integrate with ACC, Procore, or whatever other online tool you'd like to use. So we're really hoping we can improve the collaborative nature of Navisworks as well and then do something on BIM Collaborate Pro as well. So yeah, that's it's great to see. It's great to hear feedback from our clients because at the end of the day, Nishant is our ideal client. And as I've said on this webinar before, if the reason I really enjoy working on PiVDC is because my ideal customer sits 2 feet away from me, and I'm very very confident that if tools are useful for our internal Pinnacle employees, it's going to be useful for any BIM engineer out there. Um,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
if you're out there and you're using Navisworks, please reach out to us at pivdc.com. Schedule a demo. We have very generous trial cycles, and even our pricing schedule is very fair. Trust me, Pinnacle has had a history of buying a lot of software solutions, and we know what kind of pricing people are looking for. So I feel like our pricing is very fair. regardless, please come try us out at pivdc.com. And thank you so much for tuning in to Pi Navis Day during Pi Week. Please do tune in to our next session as well, where we're going to be discussing more about Pi VDC. And do remember, on 22nd July, we're going to have the Pi Day celebration. So please stay tuned for that. Thank you, Nishant, for attending, and thank you, Akshat, for taking out time out of your schedule.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you